Fantastic stuff. Absolutely fantastic stuff, Tim. And I have a strong suspicion we're going to get a strong competitive bid now from our parliamentary candidate in Hartlepool. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Phillip Broughton.
Thank you. Morning, conference. The 2015 general election is a big choice. It is a two-horse race. It is between more of the same or real change in British politics. There are three options for people who want more of the same: Lib Dem, Tory, or Labour. Or one party, us, UKIP, that wants real change. The three old parties can never truly change the system because they are the system. We in UKIP have moved beyond the left-right political divide. We ask what works, what helps hard-working people, what is common sense. UKIP are the only party in British politics that want things to change. There is nothing inevitable about British politics now. We are changing the dynamics of politics, and we should be extremely proud of that. Labour and the Tories are struggling to get a majority because we are taking away support from both. People are realising they no longer have to accept a Labour or Tory government. They want something different. I say to the British people, choose hope over fear, as Britain can do so much better than this. A vote for the other parties is a vote for more failure. Conference, our country needs us in Parliament, as it is only there where we can begin to change our country. Our job is to stand up to the political elite that have held our country back for far too long. The British people are crying out for a real alternative to the three old parties of failure. And let's be clear, we are that alternative. The Labour MP, Ian Wright, has let the people of Hartlepool down. He has been silent on the downgrading of Hartlepool Hospital. Hartlepool has high levels of unemployment at 5%, which is twice the North East average. There are more and more housing and big wind turbine applications coming forward that nobody wants. The Green Belt is under threat, and the residents' rightful objections are being ignored. There are fears about the level of crime and concern about the sheer scale of mass immigration under both Labour and Tory governments. Hartlepool, like many constituencies across Britain, needs a strong MP that stands up for hard-working people who feel left behind by an out-of-touch Westminster that doesn't understand our lives at all. If I'm elected and given the honour of being Hartlepool's next MP next year, I'll be a strong voice for the people of Hartlepool in Parliament. I'll fight to protect the National Health Service from Labour and Tory privatisation and save Hartlepool Hospital. I will fight for controlled and limited immigration. I'll argue for lower taxes, less regulation to help businesses create jobs and cut unemployment. We in this party want to give planning power to people with referendums on wind turbines and big housing projects. We need tougher policies on law and order with sentences that mean what they say. And of course, we believe no tax on the minimum wage. I have launched a campaign to save Hartlepool Hospital because I'm passionate about the NHS. When we are spending £120 billion on the health service, then the very least people should expect is to have local services at the local hospital. We want a local NHS, not a regionalised health service like the other parties, because we understand that travelling excessive distances to so-called local hospitals could be the difference between life and death. It is Labour and the Tories who want to privatise the NHS, not UKIP. Just look at their record in government. Blair did it with foundation hospitals, and now Cameron is offering out services to private tender. We recognise there are problems in the health service. UKIP's solution is to cut politically motivated, non-clinically trained middle management. We will return the NHS to the nurses and doctors who understand the day-to-day needs of their patients. We want to scrap the unfair and unnecessary hospital car parking charges, which are an absolute scandal. Ed Miliband avoided discussing the economy or immigration in his conference speech. The reason he didn't talk about the economy is because Labour crashed it. He didn't say anything about immigration because his Labour Party allowed it to be uncontrolled, and because they have complete contempt for anyone who has concerns about the high levels of immigration. Doesn't this show how out of touch Ed Miliband's Labour Party is? Let's be honest about it, conference. The Labour Party don't want to talk about immigration. Labour spent 13 years in government. They let 4 million people in. They opened the immigration door wide open. And let me tell you, they aren't really sorry about it, and they would do it all over again. Labour and the Tories can't be trusted on immigration. Our approach is very straightforward. We want to control and limit immigration. We would end uncontrolled open-door immigration. We'd introduce a strict points-based visa system like Australia very successfully has. Immigration must be controlled to relieve pressure on health, education, housing and welfare services. We must have the ability to control the quantity and quality of people who come into Britain. An immigration system that treats everyone the same, a non-racist immigration policy. The three old parties in Westminster are totally disconnected from people's real concerns on the ground. It's time for a party in Parliament that listens to the British people and delivers on the things they care about. 2 weeks ago, the three old parties joined forces in Parliament to form a shabby, disgraceful pact on foreign aid. The result of their vote in Parliament means that every year now foreign aid spending will continue to increase by law. This policy commands hardly any support in the country, and certainly most people outside of London look on in disbelief. We in UKIP want to change this. We believe we should sort the problems out in our own country first. We should be spending money on our frontline priorities, the NHS, our armed forces and police, not giving money to countries like India who have massive defence budgets and space programmes. UKIP, we're not centre-left, we're not centre-right, we're a party of common sense. The choice for Britain in the 2015 general election is more of the same with the three old parties of failure or real change with UKIP. That's the battleground at this election. That's what this election's all about. Let's get out there and win as many seats as we can. We must get out there, conference, with fire in our bellies, pride in our hearts, and passion in our voice. We want to build a stronger, better, and fairer Britain. Conference, only UKIP can rescue Britain. Thank you.
Magnificent stuff, Philip. Magnificent stuff. Now, ladies and gentlemen,